Awesome.
All right. Great.
All right, jump into it, and let us kind of give us a little background. You're trading with the entire Topstep community today. They're pretty cool cats.
Yes, they are.
Very cool
And
cats.
kittens.
And kittens.
Eddie, good to have you back.
I love being actually part of it. I'm very often in the channel chiming in and listening to everyone. So I do love it. I think it's a game changer for the futures community. Totally, absolutely, 100%. And the fact that all of the knowledge sits together and just goes back and forth during the course of the day, there's really nothing like it. And so I'm excited to be here. I've been trading for I've been trading for a couple of decades, and have settled on the futures and futures options. I like trading those a lot too, but that's another story. I love the NQ for its speed on the days where I feel like I'm sharp. On the days where I feel like I'm a container of cottage cheese, I'll go to the ES or something else that keeps me a little more stable. Depends a lot on the sleep that I got the night before.
Yep.
But I do love it. So because the NQs move so quickly, I like to go to the daily charts.
Oh, she was on a heater.
What numbers do we have up here really quickly? We got 82% in the tilt.
All right, Michael. I was kind of looking at value high from yesterday in the NASDAQ. To be precise for you, volume value high is 971. TPO value high is 947. So what we're doing now is we're attempting to reject the value from yesterday. We do have the opening range at the low of the day in the NASDAQ and in the S&Ps. So kind of looking for possible longs here. I know that the tilt is very long. I'm not the only one looking for it, and I'm really kind of not that pleased with this trade in the S&Ps. It's not really going anywhere, and we're piling on a whole bunch of positive delta, and the market's not really moving that far. So I'm right on the cusp of just taking this trade off because I don't like it.
Okay, I got short up there before you, right when you started talking, because it was so heavy long. It had just ripped higher. It was a rip to the upside. Guys that don't know, that's when it just really
It's a very technical term.
Very technical.
S&Ps aren't that long, are they?
No, they weren't that long. So that's why I do see it. I see a continuation with this happens, but it was 80%. I took it. I sold 80s and 77s. The high was 82, covered 63s right around here. So I'm up right now thus far. John, yeah.
I'd like to say good morning to ICT. Good morning, ICT.
Welcome.
Up, ICT. Yeah, so John, you're right. When one of them gets really long and the other one doesn't, I do see continuation. And this is on the tilt, guys. It scrolls on the top of your screen. And if you're in Topstep X, you get this right there in real time, right in front of your face. Morning, folks. ICT, morning. Okay.
All right, I'm fucking dialed in.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes.
Okay, so when the tilt comes up, the first thing I look for is, am I breaching any prior day's highs, prior day's closes? And we had one right there at 15,974. And when the tilt comes and we get that high, I think that's a great place for the short. I've been trying to learn how to use the tilt. And that I found to be really reliable. So the first target it ought to come into is somewhere around 15,940, which we know from earlier in the week, Matt was looking at that number a wee bit. But the prior high from, I think, 2 days ago is 15,961. So it's a nice stair step that we can walk into that space. But that is a really key thing that I'll look at. When the tilt starts showing up to those really big numbers, I always have the daily closes high and low posted on my chart. And if the high is coming into the same place as the tilt, it automatically triggers that short for me.
Ian, I'm so excited. Like that's kind of how I look at it. And guys, you don't have to use it or do or listen or don't. But the tilt is just and have you ever seen this data? It's a data set that's from everybody that's motivated to be correct here at Topstep, which is thousands of traders trading right now with open positions. And it just lets you know what's their bias in real time. And when the bias gets really long or really short, like 85% of people that all, like 1,000 people have an open position. It's more than that, but like 850 of them are all leaning one way. Well, that's interesting. What does the market do with that? Get familiar with it. And then where are we then in the markets is what Ann just said on certain levels. So, Ann, I'm jazzed that you use it that way. It's kind of how I use it as well.
It's maybe better than we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Miguel is asking, what is this thing you call tilt?
It's on the top of your screen. And then we can bring in a slide that gives a definition. And then you guys can see that. But it's, again, it's just a bias. It's the bias of
There's the target at 42.
Okay. And we have a 70% short bias, 70%. So I'm going to get long one. So you like the 42s, and it's a 70% bias. So this is just something that, and again, nothing is ever correct, but it's just really interesting to play levels when a bias, if the bias is strong a certain way. So, Ian, when you say 42, why the 42 again? 942?
Well, the 42 was the prior. Let me go to my daily. Hang on 2 secs. I mark everything up on the big time frames.
Yeah.
And then I go to the 4 hour to manage the entry of my positions. And so there are a lot of wicks that are sitting at 15,942 over the several days. And so I'll pick those wicks if they represent both resistance and support.
Well,
and that's why the short closes at the 42 level. It starts at 74, closes at 42, and then I watch for the traders to try and lift off the level again, or potentially to fail the level. I don't know what they're going to do just yet.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Hey, Michael, Inner Circle's asking, Michael, you ever leave a runner?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the week, and runners are awesome if you can catch them, and really, really awesome if you can catch them. They just feel like they're like these, rare, Black Panther in the jungle type of sightings that you're going to get. That I would love to. Is my point. So if I put on like a 2 lot, 4 lot, 3, whatever it is, and I'll peel them off like 10 handles, 15 handles, 20 handles, and then I'll say I'm going to keep a 1 on. If I really pegged it and got a great entry and all of it on those, I'll keep 1 on and put it for a break even. This whole week and last week, it has come back and hit my break even. And then what are we looking for on our runners? Is it like a 50 handle move because we're always looking for 20s? I haven't really got around on getting those down and knowing where my out is as well. So I'm sticking the 20 and 30 handle runners, so to speak. And handles, guys, are points in the NASDAQ.
Michael, why don't we set a rule for when you're going to try and leave a runner on?
Yeah, I'll need your help. Yeah.
Yesterday, the opening range was the dead high of the session, both in the S&Ps and the NASDAQ. On a day like that, there's reason to think that maybe it's going to trend that way all day, which it did. And if you leave that runner on off that opening range, then you're going to be, as my dad used to say, well, I don't want to say that, but you'll be sitting pretty, you'll be looking good at the end of the day.
Don't know what that, I have no clue what he said, but I think I've heard it from you before. But yeah, I'm going to need your help at times on that one. And I think we can talk to each other. But yeah, trading around your position or letting your great end. And I think, John, for me, it'd only be like, I'm really confident in that great entry. But we got a pretty good pullback right now, and then it's off the 42s. Or sorry, it's right at the 42.
I mean, we've been looking at these prices in the S&Ps all week.
Mm-hmm. You got a low volume node down here at 36 in the NASDAQ.
Okay.
What's happening with the tilt right now?
It's getting shorter.
It's getting shorter. Yes.
72% short in NASDAQ, 66% short in the ES, and we're breaking.
So we just got below the opening range, and the S&P is not yet so in the NASDAQ. So my feeling like I should probably just get out of this trade was probably right. I'm still in it right now.
I got caught on that flush. I bought 38s and then I bought 29. So average price at 34, and then I got out of the one lot. But yeah, it's getting really heavy short. But it is pulling back fairly hard. But we've been rallying all morning.
Out of that trade now. I hit my stop. Down 300.
Yeah, I'm not liking this right now.
Are you long?
It's 80%. This is a huge
I'm
short,
long from 72.
huge short position.
ICT says he can hang out here after the holidays if he wants. If he wants us to hang out with him for a session.
Right. I was asking him when can he join us. So there we go. We'd love to
So
have
this
you.
number at
ICT.
That would be great.
15,920, great number right there. So I like that area to stabilize. Optimally, I think the long at 15,910 might give me better risk, but that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to see if I can get that 15,910 to see if I can go long there with my stop at 15,890.
Okay, 15.
20 points risk.
I am taking heat right now. 75% short.
I'm long from 72, guys.
All right, I'm long from 1510, 15,910.
15,910.
Andre picked up my stop.
Is that what you were?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, it started getting super tilty on the shorts. Good pullback here. We'll see if we can catch move to the upside.
I got an 09 with you, Ann, but I was long from also 19. So this little range right here, if this doesn't hold, I'm in a little bit of trouble.
You're in a pickle.
I'm in a pickle. Don't want to be in a pickle. But I'm literally, this is the part of and where if it doesn't react to too much, it feels like it grows legs. And I don't know if I'm correct or not, but it does feel like, there's a lot of shorts in here. So I'm going to take
Below
one.
the opening range in the NASDAQ is
We
07.
got to get up over 20 in a hurry.
Yep, in a hurry. So I took
Got
one.
below the opening range. In the
Yeah.
NASDAQ.
So there's your interesting play right there. Oh, I'm in trouble now. Okay. Not bad. Down 160 after all that noise.
So we've also got.
What levels do we have down here? That was
897. That's going to be a sticky level.
okay. 8, 9, 7.
Well, we know weekly kickoff level is 872. We've got yesterday's point of control at 885.
And what's
Volume
tilt?
point of control 875.
77.
77% short.
Yeah. So far shorts are getting paid on this one, but they're
So we
both really
just hit
short.
the VWAP at 15,887. So the traders are trying to hold that VWAP kiss.
Yeah, I'm wrong here.
I know it's going to bounce from oil. I don't know anything.
I am getting so it's sitting down. When it sits like this and it shows no signs of you would typically see a pretty vicious move against this that would then set up itself for that flush out. So it's, I don't know.
The trees.
Well, coming
that
up
we
here, top of the
can't
hour,
hear.
we will be having a minor number.
See it? Look,
Yeah, this is
Wholesale.
getting a
There,
little.
Michael.
I'm in from evens, yeah, but I'd taken a lot of heat, so I've been down. So I'm gonna get out right now, just because I'm going back to a scratch today. I was up 500, then I was down 600, and now I'm at even. So I will sit on my hands and I'll be a spectator.
Oh yeah.
so one of the things that I love to do is if I get into a trade too early and I get washed out at my stop, it doesn't invalidate the fact that I believe that my initial estimation was correct. What it invalidates is the way I executed. And so instead of going, oh crud, I was wrong, my thought goes, if I'm right, what should happen here? And so I love the VWAP for that.
Just like that.
And that's, we are bouncing directly off that VWAP. And the VWAP has got a ton of slope. So if the VWAP is sloping up and it washes me out, if I'm sitting at a level where I go, that is supposed to bounce, people are going to buy old support, VWAP is up, people are going to buy the dip based on the formations, I'm going to chase the trade right back in and move up into those old levels, like that 15,920, where I would go flat because I shouldn't have lost that area in the first place. It should have just reflexively come off of that zone.
Can
But I
somebody show
love-
the VWAP? The VWAP, and we want to show what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The
that's been a play
VWAP,
all week.
the slope.
All right, let me see.
I don't know if we have yours or Hogue has the VWAP on the slope on the NASDAQ to kind of get it.
Yeah, I got it right here.
I don't.
Got the VWAP.
Yeah.
Here it is. Pink, right there.
You know, it's trying, and we're back here at the 10s with 12s or whatever. Flush down to 87, just flush or just rally back up to what 29s, 30s. So it's sitting back here. It is feeling like it's like firming up. And let's go to your VWAP conversation here. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. And John, can you highlight the VWAP?
Kisses it all the time. It'll
Point
kiss
that.
it all the time.
Now, for those not familiar with VWAP, it is an abbreviation of volume weighted average price.
Thank you.
So what that actually means is that if it's trending up and price is sitting above the VWAP, it means everybody on average buying into the market is making money.
Okay. Okay. All right. That
So
makes
there it is. I highlighted it. Just made
Price
it real
action
thick so you can
is
see it.
Thank you,
below
Johnny.
the VWAP. It means that on average, everyone who's bought into the market is losing money. So by that nature, you get a feel for how people want to respond to it, whether it's, hey, the slope of the VWAP is up, I'm just going to buy it. Or the slope of the VWAP is down, if it comes to kiss, I'm going to sell it.
okay.
And so when we combine that with things like, is this the prior open? Did I have some wicks that showed up here over several days? It begins to tell you what the longer term traders have got themselves positioning in overall, rather than the intraday fast action traders like us. We just want to find where they are and sort of piggyback on top of that.
Right. Right.
Lean
So
in.
you're using VWAP and you're using tilt. And what else do you use, Ann?
Well, when I use the VWAP, I actually use a VWAP ribbon. And so what the ribbon does is tell me when movement is accelerated. So for instance, if I'm one standard deviation over the VWAP, I will make sure that I still have slope and I'll stay long. And so I could show that picture sometime, maybe one day
I
on
just
strategy
added the,
lab, we can go over it.
I just added the first and second standard deviation from VWAP.
Yeah. And so when it starts creeping up into 2.5 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations, I know it's some kind of blow off motion. And so I'm always going back to, how did the prior day open? How did the prior day close? Where were the prior highs? Where were the prior lows? And I'm going to look at those levels reflexively to see if they hold or release or fade. And so that's what I'm always doing. Really, those are the lines I have on my chart.
What are you looking for right now on a profit? You still long from your 10s?
We lost
And I'll look for,
All right.
is the volume point of control rising? Is it moving sideways? Is it falling? And that will also help me confirm trend and motion.
Okay, so on your long right now, you're long from 10s. You played the VWAP. You explained all that. Now explain to us your exits. On what's going to be confirmed wrong.
Okay, so where I'd actually be long from is the 900 area. As it bounces off the VWAP, I want it to come in, and let me see if no, I can't send a snapshot. Jack, can I put a snapshot in there? And
yeah, I mean,
we'll worry about it later. What happens is I telescope down to a 2-minute chart. As it bounces off the VWAP, I wait for higher lows. And so I have to wait for a couple of minutes. The higher lows are still hitting around that 15,897. So I'm going to get in about 15,890, 15,900, 15,905. But I'm going to start taking profit at 15,920 because that was the space I thought it should hold. So now that it's over 15,920, my stop completely moves to break even.
Yep. All right. And then does it trail past that?
So it's half and half.
1 minute on wholesale inventories.
Thank you, Eddie.
I think it's very bad that it has lost 920. So I'm very concerned. The reason I move my stop to break even so I can at least make half is if the market is strong, it shouldn't be having trouble at 920. Now, it's still making higher lows off the VWAP.
We have an economic release coming out right now. Eddie, you want to keep us posted on the time?
Oh, yes.
30 seconds.
Okay. And if you have a position on, is it for scratch? And will you leave this on?
Yeah, it'll be for scratch if it breaks down.
Okay. Cool. In the money a bit, trade for scratch. If we get the pop out of it, it's great. And if we don't, you'll have probably a little bit of slippage, but nothing bad. All right.
It's the wire here. We're going to find out what it is. Natural gas traders, 9:30 Central. You're going to have your BCFs. And 10:30, we got some auctions, so heads up. We're going to find out what wholesale inventories are as soon as they post it here for us. There we go. Wholesale sales coming in at negative 1.3, and wholesale inventories month over month, negative 0.4. So they were looking at a negative 0.2, prior negative 0.2 coming in at negative 0.4%.
It's really kind of a minor number. Wasn't
Very minor.
Wasn't worried about that one.
Major, minor.
Don't forget we got non-farm tomorrow.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
everybody's
gonna be
waiting
big.
for.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're sitting at negative, and
All right, so now we're through the gauntlet.
bullish.
Yeah. And I got long.
Up over the levels.
I got long with you right there at the 12s. A 2 guy, 2 lot, 2 cars. But yeah, and here's your 20s. So this thing can't hold a bid. It's trying, right?
Yeah, it's really
Watching.
it's trying, but it's
It is
not a
tough,
lot of
John Brewer.
heat.
I love
I
watching.
should have listened to my own advice and waited. Yeah.
to
We open in range and in value. That's usually going to
have the next
probably
target.
going to get better trade location later.
But yeah, this is, I mean, I can't stand sitting in formations that look like this. They make me insane.
Yep. If it doesn't start happening, then you feel like, or or in your experience, it feels like you're way too early, or it's not the right play. But I scratched mine.
Get long.
My stop is still 900, so
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
and you're fine. You've
I'm
been
just
fine.
gonna have a little patience. And the news came out; it didn't shake the chart up, so the natural progression should be back up to the 40s.
Yep. That's why I got in, but then I got shaken out. I learned yesterday, and it's not shooken. So,
Oh God, did we get correct on that one?
yeah.
Got the old
New
shake and bake.
words.
Head with
I'm
that.
always up for new words.
While we were taking a losing
I
trade, we're
thought-
getting hammered over the head with that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's good.
Right.
Yeah, well, we all
do a
got
little
smarter.
there.
What do I say? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Uh-huh.
All right, got a little bit of news if you guys have a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hit it.
Ready?
All right, first off, did you guys happen to see yesterday? Jamie Dimon was in front of
I
Congress
saw
He
that.
went in yesterday.
and said that if he were in charge, he would shut down crypto for good because
Oh
it's
my
for
God.
drug dealers and terrorists. So
You know, he sounds like such a schizophrenic about it because at the very beginning of the year, he was all hot and heavy about it. And
He
then
has
2 years
flip-flops,
before
doesn't he?
that, he was like, it's terrible.
Yep. He's flip.
JP was offering crypto products, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So I'm confused.
Well, I heard if if their clients want it, enough clients want it, then that's their job is to
Fair
serve
enough.
the clients.
Fair enough. But now he's saying shut it down.
So that'll be interesting, sort of going forward. And then, Andre, I just had a few thoughts. I'm liking the new background.
Oh,
but it
God.
kind of
What do you
it
got?
reminded me. Well, I have a few ideas. The first thing that came to mind was you can't.
DJ at a nightclub.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
DJ Gray
Wookie.
Money, and
DJ
then
Dre. DJ
you know,
Dre.
and then a certain $1 billion movie also came to mind. There he is.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh my
You know what? I'm not.
Oh,
I don't
Kenny.
even get the reference.
I love it, Andre.
my
Keep
God.
it.
Oh, Kenny over there.
Production's been on one this week, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good, guys.
Hey, Anne Marie, we've got a question here. Can you about setting that VWAP, moving back a little bit, and market profile from the data release, or is it versus the opening 8:30? Since news is a huge event.
I do not anchor a VWAP. So the way the VWAP is set up is that at the beginning of Globex, it begins to print. And so I am not smart enough to figure out how to anchor a VWAP, to be honest. And so I just leave it where it is. I use Joe Normal's anchored VWAP. And so the reason I do this is the following. What I'm trying to get from the VWAP is a sense of where all of the traders are positioned. And when I anchor the VWAP, what I assume is that where I've anchored it is incredibly important. Because I really do, the market has beat me like a redheaded stepchild. And I don't even know if that's,
Ooh,
I don't even know if that's mean. Can I say that? But what?
Somebody said that in a company meeting one time, and, and there was somebody that had, and they were just very offended when it's HR. So, yeah.
Oh my God! Please.
Tops, this is a Tops. I'm not laughing
Please
about
don't be offended.
You were saying, Ed.
It's just beat me to a pulp. It has, and so I don't say to myself, "Hey, I know where I'm moving my stop up to 910, so I'll have 10 points, whether this gets into my 40 or not. So it'll either close at my 40, or it'll stop me out at 10. But I think it's going to give me my 40 right there.
Oh, go.
There's your fort. There's your nope. Did it?
Yeah,
Dang
Did you
it.
get it?
All right, I'm flat. 30.
manage a trade. Well done.
There you go.
So
Nice
hang on.
patience. Nice
That was
patience.
impressive.
So
Way better than mine.
well, I appreciate that, but for this VWAP thing, I'm saying that I try to use the simplest things. I used to try to get super complicated, but I overthink everything. And as some of you know, I sit on the spectrum. And so I have to really monitor how much information I get at one time. I'm not able to parse it very quickly, which is when I start hearing stories about you guys being on the floor and things happening at the speed of sound. I literally want to break out in hives because it sounds so terrifying to me. So I sort of make everything super quiet, and my number one question is, where is everybody else sitting?
Yep.
Can I get in as close to them so as if they run, I'm great, and if it falls apart, I only got a skin rash rather than a gaping chest wound.
So do you watch the Dome? I would say no after hearing
I don't. It's too much. I'm like, wait, all those movements. But what I did find to be fabulously interesting was the other day, because I really always have TopstepTV in the background. I'm always listening to you guys. And the other day, there was that huge print sitting up there. And I thought to myself, wow.
Oh, wow. What? Oh, man. Damn. Wait, she's back.
Wait, we had 1,600. We had 800 lots sitting there yesterday too, right?
Gave me that same information in one way or another. And so it was all, I mean, it was great. So no, I don't use it because it's information overload for me.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, so you would say the VWAP and the tilt got you into that trade, and then did you have a level down there besides the 10s?
I have the 15,897, which was the prior open from a couple of days, and then a close that sat on that very same number.
Ooh, I like that.
897, and then an open that sat at 889. And so,
well, the low is 887. Right?
Yeah, all that crowding tells me there's interest there.
Well, good
and
out.
So if I get taken out, I don't get discouraged. I just go, you know what? I'm gonna get back in.
Would you get back in right now? You
look a little short.
Yeah, you covered it on the wick, on that nice ripper wick up in the 40s, 30s area. Now it's back here at your 10s. You were along from evens, 900, 15,900. What are you thinking right now? VWAP still there where it's at a bit. It's down at the 900s.
So interestingly, what price is actually doing is sitting between the VWAP and one standard deviation away from the VWAP. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if I get in now, I'm expanding my risk. Because what I do know is that they bought the VWAP. I don't know that they bought with power 20 points above the VWAP. And so I'm going to sit on my hands. Now, the flip side is trades run by me all the time doing that. I'm like, oh, great. That's nice. It moved up without me. But I love saying the same thing as the market is a buffet with the most incredible food you want to eat all the time.
Okay, I like
it. If you happen to go up there and it's not exactly what you want, it's better to leave with an empty plate and come back with exactly what you want rather than get back to the table and figure out you've got a green bean and grape jelly sandwich on white bread. As opposed to,
for a foodie like me, and we only have so many meals in our life, I'm very selective about what I put in my body.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love it.
But see, you're totally right on that bounce up. It's holding. The floor looks great. but I would still say, once it gets up to 35, 36, that there are a lot of sellers there. So you want to say, all right, maybe I'll just take that for a quick 20-point clip.
Well, there was a lot of on the tilt. There's a lot of short bias happening when Andre just set it down in the 12s, and then we were all getting long because it was so damn short from the 20s all the way down to the 87s, and now you're seeing 45s play out right now. So it's kind of interesting to always see when shorts or when a certain bias starts to show up. It seems like they were really getting short down there in the 20s. So something to think about. Something to
face right now.
Yeah. And have you noticed with the tilt, and guys, I don't want to keep talking about the tilt all the time. It's just something we share. It is not a holy grail, and nobody's saying it's right all the time. Do you notice, I talked to Andre, and I'm like, hey, they're so damn short right here that it didn't happen right away. It took a while. And I always think about all the personal brokerage accounts that probably have the same bias in the planet that have a short on in NASDAQ. And it takes a while for that to then squeeze them as well. It's squeezing them because we're watching us thinking about the real money in the markets being squeezed. That's kind of my thought when I look at the tilt. And then this one took a while, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes to really materialize into a really nice long, a really nice move off that tilt play, in my opinion.
Who says ES is leading right now? I think he's right. At least this move.
It's on its highs.
ES pumped higher first, and then NASDAQ followed.
Okay.
So whenever I look at that tilt, I realize that it's just a point in time.
Yep.
And so what I immediately go to is there a prior high there? Is there a prior close there? What should I be looking for in that formation? And it confirms the fact that it is a movement that's going to ultimately reverse. Because if people are super long, they're long into a target, and then they're going to clip off. And so that's really what we're waiting for. Where's that target? Where's that target? Well, it was the high wick, or it was the prior high, or it was X, Y, or Z. And so as soon as I hear the tilt, because I don't have Topstep X yet, as soon as I hear the tilt is engaged, I'll go, okay, where's that? Is there a nearby high? Is there a nearby low? Is there a nearby close? Is there a nearby open? And then I'll watch for the behavior.
So is the plight of live remote.
Yes.
Drama.
I think she was just essentially saying Tilt is just another tool in the shed of hers.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, she just picks up right where she
We're
left
playing
off.
fill in the blank today. And yes, you are correct.
Yes. Hey, Eddie, can you refresh me on what else we got coming? We got auctions at 10:30, but that's about
Well,
it.
if you're trading the Black Widow, you got about 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right. And then, of course, we've got our 10:30. I'm going to be watching these. These are minor, but we got a 4-week bill auction, 8-week bill auction at 10:30 today, Central Time. So I'll be watching those. Also, we do have a, as Deanna says, watch for these Canadian releases, too. We got Deputy Governor from Canada at 11:30, and 11:40 we'll have the Governor Macklem speaking. So keep your eyes open. And, of course, we got our balance sheet later on this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it.
Making new highs here.
Yeah, Andre, you had it. You had a nice long there.
Yep. I mean, he has barcoded for about 25 minutes there before
Yeah, it
he
did.
took off.
Yeah, it did. Barcoded right through me.
Yeah, I know.
I got
It's
a
an opening
question.
range trade, man. It hits, but when it doesn't, I know it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I got a question for our gold traders. Gold traders, positive or negative here? I know that we had the bear very strong here early in the morning, and now we're sort of getting some bounces off the bottom. Positive or negative if you're trading gold?
What's gold trading right now, Eddie?
Right now, I'm looking at a 2043.70 here.
Unbelievable, these prices. What's Black Widow, Eddie?
Black Widow is, well, we've got the natural gas, the Black Widow. So we're looking at they're looking at negative 105 billion. Previous was only 10 billion, so this could be pretty skewed. I'd be very careful if you're trading that natty gas.
So the S&Ps are still in value. NASDAQ.
You know, John, you were talking about today is going to be a hard day. And just looking at, what we've got going on here, you guys are managing your downside very well.
Thank you. Testing above value from yesterday's range.
Yeah.
In the NASDAQ, just going to be patient. The way it looks to me in the S&Ps is, there's a better trade
So
location.
this is the last place that I took that initial short that came on the high tilt, this 15,970, and I reinitiated again. 961 is a prior high, so that's going to be the first place that I try to take some profit. Got a super tight stop up there, 978, I think is what I'm seeing right there. So as soon as it gets to 61, I'm taking half. There goes half, and I move myself to break even.
Nice. So you're looking at this high here from, what is this, Tuesday?
Correct.
Got it.
There you go. All right, gold traders, and about the 130 that do trade gold, 65% up. That's good. Down 35%. Thank you, gold traders.
So 60 might end up being a new buy zone because it's sitting above one standard deviation, which is why I took half of it there. Wow, I'm going to get stumped. No, not yet.
We've got
I would like for it to come back, but
high from yesterday. Volume value high is 71. TPO value high is 947. 947.
947. Did we lose Michael? Where is he?
I'm right here.
What the hell have you been?
if I get the other half of this position, it'll be out at 50. I'm going to leave it at that round number because that's
I got
linear.
our snow removal guy.
Something happened. I knew something.
Yeah, our snow removal guy just
Quit?
slipped and thinks he has a broken rib.
Oh no!
On property. On property.
Oh, dude.
On property.
You're like the 13-year-old down the block.
No,
Can I shovel your snow?
Calling up your insurance
that's
policy.
the
Right?
worst.
We'll just see what happens.
Folks, if you like what's going on, we got 2,721 watching this wonderful program. Let's hit that like button. Hit the thumbs up right under the screen, right under the programming screen. Let's get that number up if we want Anne-Marie back again. And hit that subscribe button. Let's get that number up here. There you go.
Nice trade.
Clickety, click, click, click. The lucky like, as Hope calls it.
The lucky like button. Anne-Marie, there was a question here, and I like this question from Dragonfly Doji. They're asking, is there a time of the session you feel most comfortable trading, and if so, why? And thank you for being here with us. They're really
Wow,
enjoying
that
your
is a
perspective.
really good question.
Yeah, it is.
It has to do with whether I sleep well or not. I'm hit and miss with sleeping. So if I've slept well, I love the morning. By the time it gets to 3:00, so I traded with you guys at the close yesterday, and I was up and I was down and I was up and I was down and I was up and I was down. And finally I said, I probably am not doing anything but giving commissions away. So I get tired late in the day. I like the morning when I've slept well, but sometimes I need a warm-up period and the lunch lull, which is very slow, gives me a good shot at getting into the rhythm. So I really try to listen to my head a lot in terms of, is this telling me, do I feel good? If I eat, wow, that just blew out a bunch of stops right there.
Andre, this is our negative delta from yesterday.
Oh, wow. Coming into today?
Probably.
Good call. Didn't even think about that.
Hey, looking at the NASDAQ, JP Rivas says that 16, the evens all the way to the O quarters is a high volume node from the composite from 1114 to 12.6.
JP, I put that composite together for you. We'll get a chance to look at it at some point today. But yeah, I mean, Andre, all those shorts, they're going home flat tonight.
Yes, they are. What's it at right now?
Well, delta in the S&Ps is 5,000.
Unreal. God bless it. Yep.
It just dawned on me.
Yes.
And Anne Marie, I didn't even think about it, but I
She was
slept
talking
like,
about the close yesterday, and that's what triggered it.
yeah, I slept like garbage last night. I probably shouldn't have done anything this morning.
Yep.
Yeah, I am.
Oh man, every time it's
I've lost a lot of money just
drama.
deciding to
Here she is.
trade the ladder.
Okay. Well, Dr. Dax, if you've got some challenges for us, let us know.
All those
You're
shorts
saying
go
if
home
you're getting
flat.
those likes for free, we need some challenges for you.
Yeah, speaking of challenges, I think did
you do your eggs yesterday?
I drank the egg yesterday. I did indeed, and I'm being told it is my turn to pass on the challenge. I still have to figure out what the quote unquote punishment will be, but I know who I'm targeting as to who's going to pay this punishment off. I just need to know what we need to.
Anne Marie.
What?
You're targeting Anne Marie, right?
Yeah. I think it's fair.
Initiation? No, I'm like,
we want her back.
Anne Marie cook. Anne Marie's cooking right now. I'm not getting in the way of that.
We want her back. Okay?
Yes, we do. Yes, maybe the second or third time.
She's out of bounds.
I think I'll be targeting my good friend Michael over there, who got me the first time. But we still got.
We're just gonna keep batting. We're gonna keep batting the ball across the court.
That's how the rules go. It's up to the doer.
50,000 subscribers or something along those lines. We'll see what we can get Michael to do here on TV.
Where are we at?
Discussions in the chat. If you guys want to see Michael do something semi-silly, but not.
We usually do likes because you can get to that one way quicker. But I'm down with 50. Might take a little bit longer, but yeah.
Well, maybe if we know it's the CEO that's going to be doing the punishment, we can turn and charge it.
That's true.
Yeah, Grateful Trader, if you're looking to set up that dome, just contact support.
All right, Anne Marie.
Buy me a car, Arden.
I'm ready.
We've got a question, and this is one of the things that I know you're very knowledgeable about. Our good friend Dante, longtime Top Step friend here, is asking. Well, he's basically stating now ES market makers have to buy the S&P 500 to hedge S&P futures options fueling the upside move. How much? We don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
That's probably true. Remember, it really depends on what kinds of strangles they've set up for the day. So let me take a peek at what gamma is right now. So let's
Natural gas traders, you got 5 minutes.
Gamma is the ray that caused the Mothra to increase in size, right?
So I don't believe that will fuel any kind of move until it gets above 4,600, right? Because there are a lot of people that are short the 4,600s in the SPX. And so this is really slosh. There's nothing really here of consequence. This is not a move that's going to pivot a large group of traders in one direction or another, because when they set out the day, their gamma really is at 45.50 and then at 46 and 46.10. And so for I don't see that being a
Anything
purposeful
major
event.
changing us?
Yeah, that's not what's happening right now. I believe that traders are just the people that are really getting moved around in this slosh right here are the pea shooters like us.
Yep, the shorts.
We're
shorts in the
getting
hole.
sloshed around. Everybody else is just simply buying off the prior low.
Oh, no,
More
no,
drama.
no.
What happened?
Fill in the blank.
Started coming
We're
in
on our-
at
We'll
15,000.
just sit here waiting patiently, waiting on your next word. Okay, go ahead, Emery.
I don't know where you lost me. Where was that?
You were talking we were talking about how this slosh is really just short time frame pea shooters picking each other's pockets.
Yep.
Which it's been that way for 2 weeks now, or a week and a half at least.
It's been the same prices for 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people are asking about Anne Marie's trading screen. I think we can get that maybe next time.
Well, I don't want to crash I don't want to crash the system. So let's give it a go. And if I drop off a cliff, you know what's going to happen. So hang on 2 secs.
Sorry, we'll catch you.
Ooh, it just asked me for a password, Jack.
We'll provide that. Not online though. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Let's do it.
It's my entire social security number.
When I first started as a runner at the Merc, we all had ID badges that we were supposed to hang on our jackets, and they all had our social security number on them. So you're just walking around showing your social security number to the whole world. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was right. That's right. They changed that though.
Well, a good marker can change that.
I cannot see a trade in here. That was such a great short earlier with the tilt being so damn heavy. And now it's just running stops on every personal brokerage
Oh,
account.
wow. It's reversed. That's so weird.
It
Okay, how
popped
do
right.
I?
The
Wow.
VWAP is great. Those levels are great. The 900s are great. It's almost 100 handles. Excuse me, almost 100 handles higher.
Yeah, I have 16,013 and then 16,022 next.
Okay.
30 seconds on natural gas.
What'd you call it? The Dark Widow?
The Black Widow.
It's the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker.
Wow. Liam, you're long from 1610 or hold on, 16010? No. Long 2. Oh, long 2. I thought you
John, you nailed it with all those shorts getting out.
Yeah, it took me too long to figure it out though.
Oh boy. No big lean.
Looking at 107 billion and just hitting the wire right now. Let's see what we got. I don't know how many people do trade natural gas still.
I don't know.
You know, when we were, I think our first funded trader was trading natural gas.
I think you're right. How that was like
That
20.
was a big target for us.
Many moons ago. Okay, coming in at 117. So expectation was 107, coming in at 117. All right. We got a question here that Danielle wants me to ask. Let me get to it real quick.
We are 1 hour into our trading day. I'm scratched. Who's up? Dow, Johnny's down a little. Andre's up a little. Anne Marie is taking the cake.
Love it.
All right.
Do you just have a one lot Anne on that one that you had? What's your size?
I go with 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I go with 2.
Hey, Ann, now, not
Yeah.
only are you a professional trader, a wonderful person, and a good friend, you're also an author. Does Dogleg 144 is asking, does Anne Marie's book talk about VWAP?
Ooh.
It does not. What I talk about in the book really
There it is.
Yeah.
is
On Amazon.
supply and demand and support and resistance, which I believe are the anchor. Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
The anchors of trading.
Yes, it is.
Right. Okay. Can I get one of those autographed, Dan?
It's a good book.
Absolutely.
I want to get it autographed.
It's a great book.
Eddie, you're the best.
I collect autographs. Come
Oh,
on,
yeah,
from cool people. All right. That's my gig.
What do you mean cool people? What do you mean cool people? John or Andre? Have you got
my autograph?
Yeah,
We're not
you?
cool enough.
Wow.
Well, I got John Hoagland's autograph tattooed on my back.
Oh,
I used to go to concerts a lot,
who did you go see, Anne Marie?
and I collected a lot of autographs. Stood backstage for frickin' hours.
Uh-oh.
Really?
to get-
Motley
yeah,
Crue, right?
so-
Motley Crue.
Who, Anne Marie? Anne Marie, what concerts were you going to?
Kiss.
Okay, so
Lacey says hi.
Hi, Lacey.
wow, the list is really long. I
Your number
was a
one
fan of-
concert.
Who wants to guess what my main genre
Michael,
of
you got any guesses, Patak?
Genre?
music?
Disco.
I know it's not country.
I got Donna Summer's
Let's
autograph.
go.
It's country.
Bee Gees.
I love
I'm
the
gonna
Bee Gees
say
when I was
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
We got a lot of heavy metal in here. Wow.
Yes, that's me. I
What?
used to love metal.
Wow. That's
my
awesome.
goodness.
Really?
Jam
So,
City.
but I also love, I love Rush. I got to meet. So here's the thing about Neil Peart. We were talking about him yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Because we were saying Rush was trying to get back together. No matter how late you waited, he was the most.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, the most
Oh,
what?
no.
Friendly.
The most.
Dude, that was going to be a
Never.
good one.
I'm going to say
Ever,
friendly.
ever.
Okay,
Anne Marie, it cut off right at he was
Yeah,
the
Anne Marie.
most.
Oh, he was very antisocial.
Ooh.
Never signed autographs. So I've got, a couple from Alex Lifeson. I've got a bunch from Getty. I just like me. So I've met, golly, I've met a ton of them. It was fun. Actually, I almost got arrested.
What?
happened?
Oh, here's this
Tell us
funny
more.
story.
Tell
It's
us
a
more.
different story.
So-
Nothing to do with music.
I went to see Robert Plant, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna meet this guy, right? And so he was in Greensboro. I was in the Carolinas.
Okay.
He, of course, and they all go to private, the private airports, and so I knew where that was in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I know he's going from Charlotte to Greenville or Greensboro, and I knew they were going to fly. So I drove to the private Charlotte airport, and I made a sign. I was like 20. I made a sign, and it said, hey, Robert, I want to meet you. So I make this big sign, and I'm sitting waiting in the waiting room, and
In the waiting room. Oh,
In the
no.
waiting room.
Oh, this is great.
This has been an incredible show.
Incredible.
This has been one of my favorite shows.
Okay, so
You're in the
Pilot
waiting
comes
room.
in, he sits down, he starts taking a nap, and then he looks across and he says, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine. I want to meet Robert Plant." And he goes, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yeah, super interested in meeting him, huge fan, loved Zeppelin. And now that he's on his own, I really love the band that he's with right now. They're playing some really great music." And so he goes, "Oh, well, I actually am his pilot. And so I'll see what I can do to get you a hello, at least."
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So, of course, he falls asleep. He gets up, goes to the plane, completely forgets about me.
No.
So I start running out on the tarmac. Listen, if you want a badge,
My visual right now is great.
badge is a $10,000 fine
Uh-oh.
and an offense. You will get locked up for 30 days if you rush the tarmac. And so I didn't know that at the time. So I pled ignorance. So I'm hightailing it out there. And the pilot And all of the band members turn around and they're like, okay, is she going to shoot us? What's going to happen? And so the pilot goes, oh my gosh, I forgot. No, listen, she wants to meet you. And so I went up into the plane. Man, do they have fancy spreads up there in those private
Right.
digs?
Oh yeah.
It was really great. I took a picture of myself with him. We were sitting together on the plane, and then I said, hey, goodbye, thanks. And that was all. And when I came down, there's a police officer waiting there for me. And he's like, you know, you're really lucky that it's, I don't know how late it was. It's like 1 a.m. or something. You're really lucky that it's this late at night, or I would take you to the whatever. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That was my close brush with the law.
Wow, love it.
And I usually ask a question on what's the worst thing you've ever done.
You can't ask her now.
Not
Can't
yet.
ask
You're
her.
gonna have to wait.
She cut out real quick on that one.
This is amazing.
All right. Michael had a question for you.
Yeah, and I usually ask a question, what's the worst thing you ever done? I'm not going to ask that. I'm going to say, on the scale of 1 to 10, where does this rank as the worst thing you've ever done?
Okay, so there, I did not find that running onto the tarmac was breaking any kind of moral code.
Oh.
So I have this thought to myself, law versus moral code. And so as far as breaking the law, I drove an expired license for about a year.
Oh,
So
rebel, Anne-Marie.
My mom did that for like 3 years.
listen,
Thelma and Louise.
before I became a Jesus freak, I was on my way to dying in a ditch. I'm completely positive.
Incredible.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, this episode's going to go down in history. I tell you
I
right
love
now.
it. This is an all-timer, man. Hey, real quick, we're at 16,000, big fat round number in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, we came up
to be the buzzkill around here, but I just figured we'd mention it.
Yeah, we came up to 07s, and Annie, you were talking 13s.
Yeah.
So, you know, range.
It still gets there because
Oh, no.
This is.
That's good enough for me. She thinks she's
I didn't like
ripped.
Mad Libs here.
Yeah, I think normally we'd be like, all right, we're done. But no.
what is the delta?
Delta for the S&P's 4,600, holding steady around right just under 5,000.
So it looks like it's going to just grind its way up there. Every new group of traders that goes, this is my new short,
Yep.
they're going to get run out.
They feed it.
That's really how it looks.
Yeah, they feed it, right?
I don't have a trade on right now because it's just, I should, but I don't.
Yeah, so ICT talked about runners earlier. Technically, this would have been a runner that you would have never been
Yes.
hurt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 100 handles
For sure.
from your entry at the 900s to the 16,000s.
Yeah,
That would have been a great time to run a runner.
that sucks when you think about that. Yeah, a lot of times we get so skittish when we start looking at the very particular details in the chart. We get to overthinking. Oh, maybe this is the high. Oh, maybe this is where it pulls back. Oh, maybe this, So yeah, that's dreadful.
Okay. What are we seeing here, Michael? Anything?
No, I mean, hands down. I mean, it is a little heavier on the NASDAQ, 68%, but like it's 50% on the S&P, which to me is going to feed. It's feeding. I'm like, when I see this, not feed, sorry, it keeps going that direction. When it was a big tilt, guys.
Michael, what do you mean by that? All the shorts keep feeding it higher.
Well, no, there's just no on the tilt. I'm sorry, it's 50-50. It's not really, so it's drifting. It's just going to keep drifting. I don't know, until you get a big lean.
Yep.
We saw a huge lean today. And that huge lean was a great area to think about what you were going to do.
Right.
I'm not telling you guys to do anything, but you knew what we were doing. And we try to talk it out the best we can. So we're all learning along the way. And I think that was a great explanation that Ann shared about VWAP.
Exactly.
About tilt.
You kissed it, right? Bounced right off of it.
Yeah, about an old opener and an old close at 97s. I mean, even if you would have got the old, you didn't screw all the tilt and the everything else she said, but like 97s was an old open and close. You would have only taken 10 handles of heat on that one. So like, I don't know. I mean, it was very interesting down there. We were all long.
Matthew Chuck, exactly. Every time someone goes short, they put a stop order above the price, and all those stops get swept, and that's what takes us higher. Thank you. That's exactly what we're looking for.
That's what I call feeding it. It feeds that rally. You start picking tops, you start putting stops up there. So every time it kind of makes a new high, it goes, oh, that's a little bit easier for me to make a new high because new buy orders are coming in there because sell stops are getting hit.
All right.
Or sorry, short buy stops are getting hit.
Enjoy your jog, DC Lifestyle. You're a real one.
Nice.
Hey, Coach Vince is one of his students. DA just passed the combine. Congratulations, DA.
Awesome. We love success stories around here.
Oh yeah. And if you do post that and we do miss it, I apologize. I mean this YouTube chat. I mean it's probably about 3 miles long today.
Yeah, it's it sure is, Eddie.
Yeah. JP Rivas, NASDAQ 16013 will close the 30-minute gap from NFP, the non-farm payroll.
Yeah, way to take a payment. You said take a payment before non-farm is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Patak, you remember trading in the pits for non-farm? Did you guys get all pumped up and anxious and all sweaty before that, or was it just a whole hump thing in the pits?
We would sit there just like this. Keep your cards close to you and look up at the screen and look for that thing to come across. Barely anybody ever had positions. And then right when the number would come across, blah, 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 the market would move wherever it would move.
Yeah.
And then brokers would start to trigger their orders, and then they'd start to 80 bid. And right when they said 80 bid, it was 80 bid, but now it's at 50. Those are like the home run plays. Those would be like sold 100, and you're already up 20 handles on it. It's just like, so it's very much.
Did you guys get all pumped up like right before you're about to play a football game or something?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
you'd even get butterflies going during certain times of the cyclical cycles or whatever you want to say, when the market was really reacting to certain economic releases.
Same. We even got that feeling when it was on the screen, being a screen trader. It's died down a little bit, but yeah, those non-farm is the day of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Good trade. That's where the volatility comes.
Congrats, Macon 33 passed his first one 2 days ago. There you go. Welcome aboard, Macon.
Well done.
Good job. All right, we've got
John, what is the volume that you're seeing on the day?
John. Oh, I think John had to step off for one quick second.
Oh, sorry. Does anybody see what the relative volume is?
Too hot.
No. What market, Anne-Marie?
Yes, really. Everything looks like the volume is very damp.
It's been waiting since the open, that's for certain.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye on it, though. Currently, I'm watching how these 16,000s how we're gonna react to these 16,000s in the Nasdaq. Like we always said, big fat round numbers seem to have a magnet in them, and sure enough, we did find that.
Good old psychological, yeah.
What is it with that? Just psychological? We have
just psychological.
Wow.
Yeah. Had that same thing on the trading floor. Hey, Jack. Jack, I heard that we've got our hot streaks on the front burner ready to go. Can we see those hot streaks? Who is kicking butt?
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Hot and fresh and ready to enter the screen.
Hot, fresh, right out of the oven.
Carlos, 33 now.
Carlos. Yeah, 10,139. Anthony, 25 with 6,000. Blake B. Yes, Blake coming up here, 2008. Matthew PT, 10,000. Joseph F.
Amazing.
24 days. So 33 is, I think, our high water mark. I think that's the new record. 25, Anthony.
All time is 36.
Is it 36?
For the mysterious
Massimiliano.
Amazing.
Oh, man. Where is we checked up on Matt Miliano? See where there is. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our hot streaks.
And a bonus stat provided by JD is that so far this week, the combined P&L for profitable funded traders is just over $3 million.
Wait, what?
What?
Wow, that's awesome.
$3 million? Wow.
Okay, we
Yes,
got a little.
beautiful.
Are they suing you, Michael? What's going on?
The one got X-rays and they're waiting on the doctor.
Oh no.
Yeah, you always wonder about these. We're like, okay, dude, I don't know. Did you? Did you? Like,
Is your house haunted, Michael? It seems, you got water coming out of the ceilings. You got
no, I just bought
I really like that one.
I just bought a jalopy. What is it called?
Jalopy.
A lemon or whatever they call it.
Oh, that ain't no lemon. I'll tell you that.
Jalopy.
Nah, it get issues. It's a ranch house, so it's been around for a while.
Now, I'm not saying this is what happened to you, but at my parents' house when I was growing up, they had some window washers over. One of them fell off the roof, and broke his arm, and they were trying to sweep it under the rug. And then in our
What, his arm?
He brought his whole arm under. But then we figured out why, because in the garage we moved some bricks and there were all these empty bottles of vodka.
Ah,
Really?
that'll do it, huh?
That was long before I'd be hiding them there too.
Anne Marie, I had a close call with Led Zeppelin. Let me show you this.
Did you?
Yeah, this is an unused ticket to a Led Zeppelin concert in 1977 at the Chicago Stadium that never happened.
Wow.
Oh, did they cancel it because of what?
Robert Plant's son died. They
No.
canceled the last
Yeah,
six
Oh my gosh.
shows.
Yeah.
So there's my claim to fame as far as Led Zeppelin is concerned.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Wow. How cool.
On another good note, JP just passed a 50K combine.
All
and
right,
says,
JP.
really appreciate you guys being a great bridge for those of us that don't have tons of capital to figure these markets out. You guys are great. And
Awesome,
girls.
JP.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to copy
Keep
and
sending
paste
those,
that and share
keep
that
sending
with,
those questions in for group coaching too.
there you go. Well, I'm going to share that one with our Top Step team. Thank you, JP.
Eric, I did not chase after any airplanes. I did fly at a few concerts though.
I catch your drift.
I did
Yeah,
see a Frank's Apple.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys remember, and I mean those of us with gray hair, where they used to have, I forget what the name of this concert was, but it was in RFK, and it started at 12 noon, and it went all the way to midnight. So it was 12 hours.
Holy smoke!
And the bands were, well, they had, oh my gosh, there were so many of them. And the Van Halen was the one they were the headliner at the very end. And that was exhausting. That was sort of, when I finished with that one, I was like, I'm going to cut back.
Oh, we lost her again.
Oh no. You know, my buddy just recently showed a ticket.
Okay, so
we went to my first concert was Rush. And we had there was a ticket master at the Board of Trade. And we bought I bought the tickets for everybody. Fourth row was only $12.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now what
Zeppelin
in fourth
ticket was
row is what,
$10.
about maybe $600 now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, the years that I went to concerts, everything was general admission.
Oh my
So you were
goodness.
bum rushing the door. Another phrase. I should not.
Oh, now we're gonna get a
Oh, come
fight from our
on.
Sorry. Yeah. So literally, you remember when the Who had those people that got trampled,
Yeah.
right?
In
Because
Cincinnati.
that's when they went to seating after that. But it was insane. I would always get the biggest person we were traveling with and go, okay, you go and we'll just be the train. we'll
Part
be
to
the
see.
caboose
Usually like a
behind.
pullback.
Yeah, right.
You'll be the fridge. We'll be Peyton.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
Rush is great.
Yeah, that rush ever. I mean, Walmart. You see every year, like, somebody's dead or somebody got ran over. I mean, it's always
Yeah.
they open up the gates and everybody runs. That's never worked.
No, you know what you got to do? You got to have a stun gun. And then anybody in front of you, you just use them as like a carpet. You know, when they drop, you just step over them. And,
Oh God!
there you go.
Yeah, this Zeppelin ticket was $10.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
$10 to go see Led Zeppelin.
That's awesome.
You know, you can still buy original Woodstock tickets if you go on
Really?
eBay. That would be something neat.
Really?
Yeah, Woodstock.
Hey guys, really quick, do we have anything happening in any of the markets we're watching right now? I know we've been going sideways for
Equities just went night.
yeah, and equities
Yeah,
are quiet.
and one of the reasons that I thought the market would be hard to trade today is because I did, when John was doing the morning recap, there's that element of neutrality that gives us the feeling that we're going to either go all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom or just sit in the middle. And so I think up there at this 16,000 number, that's where everybody's sort of choking around.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm thinking. Any dip should still give us a flash buy up into those top levels. But I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dip that comes into maybe one standard deviation. So that's about 15,960.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe get to ride it up for the 50 points into 1610. But I think the dips are still buys.
If I can kind of talk about something that I talk about a lot is repair, right? So
Yeah.
we talked about this on the opening call this morning. Crude oil opened between these two high volume nodes in the low volume area. There was a double distribution trend day. When you open between those two volume areas, the tendency is to trade to one or both. We traded up near this one. We've traded down near this one, and we're still range bound and we're still repairing the profile from yesterday.
Yeah, I think oil's got some trouble because of some macro things. So,
What do you see there, Anne-Marie, macro speaking, fundamentally speaking?
okay, so we've got three things going on with oil that are really sort of big. The first macro event is something called contango, and it means
That's when the front end is more expensive than the back end.
that's right. And
Yeah.
so that's bearish for the front end.
Okay.
It's great for the back end, but it's bearish for the front end because of flows.
Okay.
The second thing, so it's in contango, that means it's bearish for the front end. The second thing is that the US is producing more oil than we have in a really long time.
U.S.
And so
production.
our export numbers are up. And so that's the second thing. And then the third thing is the credit downgrade from China that began on, I think it was Monday. What that did was really just emphasize the fact that the pullback for oil highs are going to stay there. And then the last ancillary one, really, I think it's ancillary, is that when you had OPEC Plus and they said, hey, we're going to curb.
Yes. Are we? Is the U.S. trying to counter that? Is that why we're upping production?
No, we're upping production because we're trying to become energy independent.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so for the Saudis saying, hey, listen, we're going to curb, Russia is part of OPEC Plus, but most of their oil comes from Siberian oil fields, and they cannot curb production because it will destroy their pipelines if they reduce flow. So they have to have flow coming in. And so everything is just saying, hey, listen, we've got a lot of oil in the near term now, which is great for the gas pump.
Sure.
And then, of course, we're in an election cycle. And so,
Oh, I know where she was going with that one.
Yeah, she went to go vote.
Checking the pipes. Check the pipes, Ann.
John.
sorry,
Yes.
it's not going to be front page news that we're pumping oil because we don't want the gas pumps to be expensive for us when we're going to vote.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you tend to see that in And when the general elections come around, general election years, gas prices always seem to be ticking lower going into a general election.
So I've got the bulletin up here to just kind of show everybody what contango is. This is the current front month right here. So we settled at 69.38. We got some up here in the 70s. Okay, we know crude oil expires every month, and it trades 10 years into the future. So the further into the future we go, the lower prices are. That's contango. So as they get closer to expiration, the contango should bring prices in the future up, but it's keeping pressure on current prices.
It's interesting. Thank you for that. It makes a lot of sense now, because I remember the headline about 2 months ago was OPEC Plus cutting production, and we started seeing oil running into the 90s, getting close to 100. I thought 100 was damn near going to happen. And we never got there. It was simply turned around. Now we're trading 70, sub 70.
I remember the first time it traded over 100, I said, we'll never see oil on below $100 again.
Yeah, I thought
lo and behold, it went negative 40.
Sure did.
Then how do you trade it? That was a big question. How do we trade it?
You drain your swimming pool.
Yeah,
and you go,
on the top. We're going to drain your swimming pool. We're going to take delivery.
Here's my $35. I think, or no, give me your $35. What was it? Negative 35 or 40?
35.
Yeah.
Shop out in London was ready for it.
I'll take the money and go ahead and dump it right there in my backyard.
Let me know when you need it.
I can't imagine what injuries
Imagine the neighbors.
injuries would befall.
Michael, I got a question. Speaking of trading, patient traders asking, Michael, what was it like going from pit to electronic trading?
I like that question. I love that.
Well, I started on electronic trading, then I went to pit. I was one of the first electronic traders in the pit. You get an edge when you're like one of the first electronic traders in the pit. For me, it wasn't really a hard transition. It was actually easy because you get locals that would be like 80 bid. And on the screen, it would be like, I don't know, 78s. And then you go sold, and then you put a bid at 77, and you get your 77s, and you arbitrage.
That's cheating.
No, it was not cheating. They are two different markets.
Yeah.
And the minis and the micros are two different markets.
You're not wrong.
You may think they're the same, but they are two different auction prices.
Not wrong.
Yes.
I'm just bitter that
It was the large, and then it was the minis. It
was the large and the minis, and now it's the micros, but you don't really have the large. So I don't know. It wasn't hard at all. It was actually much more easy than straight electronic only, which I was at prior. And then you build your confidence because you get a little edge on all. A lot of trades you get like a couple ticks edge or a tick edge. You're not really ever doing market orders because you're lifting and trying to pick off a broker. Or a local. Pickoff means when they go 80 bid and you see on the screen it's at 79, and you go short, or you go, sell one, now you're short from 80 and you're looking to buy back whatever. Or you're looking to hold that one because you got a couple ticks in the money and you didn't take any heat on it. So the pits were allowed screen traders young, and there's a lot of younger screen traders that came on there, and the older traders that were the veterans took a very long time before they had electronic stuff.
Yeah, they didn't.
That arbitrage, people were printing money with that.
They were.
Yeah. Hey, John.
John, what years were that when they were just printing?
Well, it was,
late 90s, early 2000s?
Early 90s, I think, is really
early
when it
90s.
started.
What
Because
were you guys
you could stand in the S&P pit and look at the minis, and there's 75 bid. You see a broker, and he's got a sell order, and you bid halves, and you get hit on 10. You immediately sell 50 of the 75s in the minis, and you're just printing money. It wasn't like outright trading. It was arbitraging, and people were making a lot of money.
Now, John, did you have guys trading electronic on your side of the pit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
They all
I
had
know the
headsets.
back end had those bleachers, and there was, you'd be getting a lot of orders from those guys coming into the bigs.
So there would be a guy in the pit with a headset on, and he would say, "Hey, I just bought 10 and a half," and he would be telling a guy that's at a screen up in the bleachers. So I just bought 10 and a half. The guy in the bleachers would try and sell, 50 minis. It's at 75.
The guy in the bleachers was, the trading floor has pits, but then outside the pits were these tiers that would be where people would trade in trading data, a little computer or whatever. They'd all have their little trading stations where they could pick up the phone and say, JP Morgan, like Eddie would do. JP Morgan would call him and he'd flash the order in, or you're an electronic trader and you're up there with a headset to a guy in the pit or girl in the pit that then said, hey, I'm long 100, and then they'd start to peel them off in the minis.
Yeah.
That was really the interesting part. And then the pit started watching the minis and not caring really too much about what the price of the pit was, because the minis led, right? The minis started leading, and that became.
Well, if you were doing the arbitrage, you just wanted to see that the minis traded in quarters. It was quarter, half, 75, and the pit traded in dimes. So if the minis were 75 bid and you bought 60s in the S&Ps, you locked in.
Didn't they used to trade by nickels, John? What pit am I thinking of?
They did, but when they reduced the contract size, they went to dimes.
Okay. I remember the nickels. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like 0510, 0510, 1015, 1015, 15 bid.
Yeah, 15 was the
20, 15 20,
15 quarter,
20 quarter. Yep.
Look at this. This old school right here. I love it.
100.
What's 100?
100, fist to the
100,
head.
500, 50, 552. 552. That's a lot.
Hey, now, Mike, you're doing the board of trade. We're doing the CME.
John, sell me 100. He's CME group. Sell me 100 there.
This
He
is
put-
100.
Yeah, this is CME group.
That's what the confusion was. It
was
cost my group
200, it was
$64,000.
200, 300,
Yeah,
462.
62. There you go. At what
So
price,
it's-
Johnny? What price?
Sideways.
Market.
Tens.
Market was at tens. Okay, we're
Yep.
selling working at tens.
Guys, we got sideways action. So
Yeah, are we rolling over here?
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
took a
probably
short at
Tuesday.
the top of the range.
Let's take some rapid fire questions as you guys have them in here about anything. I know somebody in here asked me, were you able to fund TopStep on money you earned from trading?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that question.
Yeah, I made money in trading. Yes, I was a trader and made money from like 2005 to like 2009 or 10. Then I started I started Patak Trading Partners, which was a prop firm with my own capital. It was a strictly proprietary capital, and I had to start taking lines of credit out of my. I had 2 properties that were paid off in cash. And then I started hitting those lines of credit to build that to kind of invest in that company. Then I started TopStep. So yeah, no, that's been never taken on an investor and kept growing and managed my risk the best I could. Tap that line of credit completely and had to call my old man, and he goes, nope, call me when you're dire. Asked him for $100,000. He's like, nope. Cried to him on the phone even. Told him I'd give him half the company. And then he said no. And then I said 80% of the company. He's like, nope. And then right after that, Andre's brother got me $50,000 and then another $50,000. So I had like $400,000, $500,000.
Why did you ask me?
Andre's brother worked at JP Morgan, and I couldn't cover payroll. I was getting to a point where I couldn't cover payroll. And it was right about that J curve. You guys ever hear the J curve? When you start a company, it kind of, you're in this loss. And then as you start to build yourself out of it by, making a product that's a product market fit.
Minute chart.
Yeah, then it starts to your chart starts to go below the x-axis, which would be $0 making, and then starts to cruise up. And then after that, in 2014, it just kept cruising up, and then the funding industry started. But yeah, it was.
So Mike,
really
is your dad like saying, "Okay, I want that 80% now"?
He said it to me about 6 months ago, and I go, I don't know.
Man, snooze, you lose.
I call him old time. I go, I don't know about that one. You had your shot. He's like, I know.
We'll have to get him on.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on. You guys can meet him. He's a great guy.
All right, Henry, you've got some positions on.
Ooh, Henry, what'd you do?
I took a short at 15,999, and my first target was 15,985, and so now I'm half size with my stop at break even. And the next target I'm looking for is 7.5.
7.5. Oh, and 75. What was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's nothing on tilt. This is quiet. I'm scratching on the
before
day.
non-farm. It's day before non-farm. You got to keep it light and tight.
Yeah, it's going to be choppy with no volume.
These are the days we would trade half days and probably cut out and go get some wings.
Can I put a poll in here? Who here has started a company? There is a lot of entrepreneurs here. We've done a survey before, or people that are kind of the gig economy too. Who here has ever started a company?
Does shoveling snow as a teenager count?
Yeah, well, I mean, no, that's just no. Now, if you had a landscaping, snow removal and landscaping company, then I'd say yes.
Gatekeeping.
Because a lot of traders, a lot of folks that trade seem to be entrepreneurs or self-driven.
Athletes too.
Yeah, 82%, 78%. Damn.
Wow.
Damn. Yep.
Wow.
That's what I've noticed.
I did not expect that. Sweet.
Well, you own your own company. You make your own decisions. You trade. You make your own decisions. So there's something about that personality trait. Risk seeker or has a risk appetite.
3 of them. Wow, this is a great question, Mike. Shit, look at this.
Yeah, I mean, like, because that's Topstep's my successful company, but I had a failed company before that one. And then I had a successful vending company in my early days. I had like a bunch of accounts, and I moved it out to California too, importing juice from Mexico, putting it in vending machines. But then after that, I lost a lot of money doing it's called Guerrilla Gamer. Allowed people to bet each other on video games before they played each other. And I lost a couple $100,000 on that one. So everything I took with trading, I would roll over to either real estate or entrepreneurship. So Topstep was the home run one, which was just.
Well, we're glad for it.
Well, thank you. My old man said when I did that video game one, he's like, Junior, he's like, stick with what you know. Yeah, stick with what you know. You know trading. Find something there. I wasn't even thinking. I was already looking at in 2010. Maybe I should start a bar or something like that. I was actually talking about maybe I should do a bar thing. I don't know. Like,
look at all these entrepreneurs. This is great.
Well, my family had a restaurant bar.
There you go.
And we had it for a while. But I tell you that just the overall clientele at 4 a.m. in the morning is the things you don't want to have. So if anybody's thinking of buying a bar, think about that first.
Michael, we thought about that once.
Yeah, we thought about that once. Thank God, I would have been divorced and lost friendship and been broke. Failure rates in starting your own business is what? Can you guys share in here? I don't know. I heard it was up there. Failure rate when starting your own business. I thought it was in the 80s or 90%. It's hard. Is it, Ann? Have you heard anything? Okay. Yeah. So whether you're trading or starting your own business.
New highs in NASDAQ.
New high. Yeah, 80%, 78%. Okay, cool. Pretty close to 80%. Pretty close to trading. So go figure. Any endeavor that has pretty big upside, that's taking risk more than anybody else out there, is going to have a larger failure rate. If everybody could do it,
they would.
Michael, I had a conversation with Martin, one of our customer support reps, who started a company right out of college, sold it, and now he's a full-time trader, and he was kind of bored, so he got a job here at Topstep, and he's loving it.
We have a couple guys in here. I think Dakota has a big successful business. He can talk about that at some point. I talked about it when I met him out in Moab. Yeah, traders. And they have different revenue. They know how to have other income streams or revenue streams. Or whatever you want. It's smart to have that. And do you have that, or did you have that when you first started, or were you just a lone trader, trying to make it?
Oh, I have. You mean in terms of running a business, or?
Yeah, no. In terms of trading, sorry, having another income stream when you started trading, did you solely rely on your trading income, or did you have another one to supplement, or a primary one, and then trading was your secondary?
So I sold a recruiting company, and so I had a fair bit of cash that I was sitting on, that I said, hey, I mean, I'm a pretty smart gal. How hard could trading be? And so I turned a large fortune into a very small one. And then, but I've always been a one-man show, and just I always go all in. I'm all in, and so I'm like, if I'm gonna.
Oh,
She's gonna watch. What's they gonna do?
Henry, come on.
it's like commercial break galore.
Okay, you were gonna do something and you cut out.
You're all in.
You were all in.
Yeah.
Did we lose her volume? Are you?
No, no.
We lost your volume again.
I'm so sorry.
Bummer. Hey, Andre, did I tell you Uncle Mikey is on its way to?
Yeah.
My Uncle Mikey's on his way to Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas, Jayhawk
Yeah, I'll
land.
have to get pictures of that.
Yeah, we'll have to get pictures of that. So Eddie and Hub, I didn't give my niece anything for graduation. I laugh about it, but because I don't give money, I give experiences. I go, I'm not giving you money. And so I told her I'd give her surprise experiences throughout college. So she is, you have to sit and wait in line. Kansas Jayhawk basketball, they're like number 1 in the country, Andre.
Right around there.
Right around there, and they're playing a big ranked team Saturday. So they all wait in line. There's 120 camps, like I don't know, tents that are in line outside of the stadium in University of Kansas. She has to sit there from 11 till noon, which is about an hour from now. So what I did is I called the best pizza place in the town, and last night I go, I want to get pizzas for everybody, 120 kids in line. I want you to show up, and I want you to say, these Uncle Mikey says Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and this is from Molly Zeleny. So she's going to get a surprise here in an hour and a half of pizza delivery guys showing up with $1,000 worth of pizza. $1,000 worth of pizza.
Lord knows that college kids will eat a free pizza. No problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's very and that's exciting for me to do because that's an experience. And I'm also tagging my name on it because I told her I'm going to be Uncle Mikey all throughout college, so I might be doing
Partial branding too. Let's keep
partial branding.
That's cool. What about soda? You can't have pizza without soda.
No,
Like
my wife.
Uncle Hogan, Uncle Eddie are going to get some, and Uncle Andre send some soda.
No, my wife's like, I don't think they drink soda. Actually, her mom, Sarah's like, they don't really drink soda. Kids don't drink soda as much as I think we did in the 90s. Hey, 100 lot here at 79. There was 79.
Yeah, do you think this 15,974 is going to hold here?
Well, short bias is growing.
Short bias is growing. It's the rollover we were talking about here in the chat and as well on the show here. It might make this look like it's happening.
Yeah, it shook me out at the top there, and I was not fast enough to get right back in, which is exactly like the one at the bottom that I was talking about. If I think something is going to work, just because it stops me out doesn't mean I'm wrong on the idea. I just was not good on.
No, I knew it was going to happen.
You're not. The idea isn't wrong. Stop was maybe too tight.
But it missed me.
Entry wasn't.
Or I
perfect.
missed it.
Oh, there she is. No, what's this?
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is going to roll.
You think she's going to roll over?
I do.
A long one.
Next
Michael
line, 15,961 is the support area. If it holds above that zone, we can bounce again, but it looks to me like we're going to roll back into the VWAP.
Okay, well, I just got long 62s, and that could be fairly early. And
Are
I'm
you still short, Anne-Marie?
I am. But
Hey,
I'm
can
only
we
short
get-
from 76 because I had to chase it right back in.
I've got a question here. A lot of people trading with a trading buddy, trading alone. let's put a poll out there. Do you feel less alone when you're trading since joining TopstepTV? So
Good
basically,
question.
as TopstepTV
Well, I'm
sort
gonna
of
answer yes.
sat in that seat as a trading buddy. Let us know. We're going to put a poll in our YouTube chat right before we get to our shoulder tap.
And I got stuck. I'm long.
I'm gonna take half my short off right here at 54.
Good for you.
TPO value high from yesterday is 47.
So if I could talk about that for a minute, you know how you saw the tilt moving?
Yup.
And so it initiated that space of going ham, going long.
Yep.
What I will do is when I see that tilt and I go, wait a second, the shorts are moving into a target. At that point, I'm going long. That's what tilt tells me. And so when I go, oh, tilt, let me see where they're going. And when I see, all right, if I lose 15,961, they're going to go to 15,945 or wherever it is. I think they're going to go to the VWAP eventually. But that's what I start looking for. And so I won't pull the trigger on the long until I figure out where the shorts are headed.
God bless it. I got out of that trade. That was 1,000.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what are you seeing right now? I mean, it's flushing pretty good. The longs are not.
Yeah, it's flushing, and we have a tilt that's negative, correct?
Yeah, it's not super negative anymore, though.
And that means they're taking their positions off. So we're close to that support zone.
Okay. Did we lose her again? I need help, man.
Yeah, the support zone got her.
Yeah, support zone.
They
got
just
it.
finished it with support zone.
So the end of the short should be right here at 45, and I'm going to be flat.
Which is value high from yesterday.
Really?
So I love using the tilt. I had such a hard time figuring out how to use that in the beginning. I'm like, what the heck am I even looking at?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I see the tilt, when tilt comes up, I go, where are these guys going?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go, where are my key levels? And of course, they're the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I get there, I go, all right, I'm done. I'm going to get out of the trade. But I will follow into the tilt if it's coming off of a region that I know is resistance. I'll just jump in with them during the tilt or stay in there if I'm short or long until it gets into the most likely target.
Where's your
If
VWAP?
that makes any sense.
Where's your VWAP right now, John? What
920 is what I have on the.
Yeah,
Thank you.
919, 920.
Man. Okay, I'm early. I'm early to the party and nobody's even here. 28.
Well, you got $1,000 worth of pizza.
Yeah, and I'm down to 1,400, so it's $2,400 day.
Are you up on the week?
Yeah,
Okay, let's keep it that way.
I know, right?
All right.
Speaking of folks that can afford some pizza, we have yesterday's top P&Ls.
Dude, Jack's been on fire this week.
Yeah,
There it is. Drum roll. Brr, brr, there it is. Sorry. Just remind me, Jack, and I'll announce it.
No
James,
11 G's.
Tyler, Steven, Rojado.
I remember
Rojado.
that was on the mix card yesterday on shoulder tap.
And one of our presidents, James Madison,
There you
he's
go.
on the board.
I got long 34s down there, but that was already after I took some heat. So I'm trying to weasel my way back to scratch today.
I'm working on bidding the S&Ps. I didn't get filled.
So the votes that we do have, out of 546 votes, 86% says yes, they feel less alone when you're trading since joining TopstepTV. The 14%, I wonder why they are not. Amazing. Well, thank you very much for filling that poll out.
That's a really
for those
good,
that did say yes, Michael's going to send you a pizza.
yeah, right. I mean, that's really good to feel less alone as a trader. I think trading is extremely lonely.
It is.
Endeavor. Extremely.
When you're losing money, there's nothing more lonely than that.
Nothing
You know
more
how I
lonely.
used to get.
Oh,
Got money.
you can hear the fan on your desktop computer because it's so quiet in there, and your heart's racing, and then Kramer saying something on CNBC, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, back in the day, you'd see a screen get punched or a keyboard get thrown every now and then. When
Yeah,
things got really dire.
Mouse get broken.
Yeah, mouse get broken.
The wind up of emotions just building inside of you.
You're chasing the tail.
Real quick, for those that did say no, serious, tell us how we can improve TopStep to add, if you can. I'm going to put the link in here. Let us know what would make you feel better about that question. So, how can we improve TopStep TV? Here's the form in the YouTube chat.
Those 34s, I mean, I was getting long this whole way, which put me in the hole. But I got myself under 1,000, which is good.
You caught that bounce off the
I
reset.
caught that bounce of the 3 letter.
John, what bid were you working? What price?
I've been working a bit at 71.5.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm up 7,000 on the week, which has been really awesome because I've skied every day this week. So I want to keep it into the I want to keep at least 5,000 of that into the.
Buys a lot of pizza.
It does. It's been a fun week trading with you guys. And it's been even more fun with you.
It's been a week.
Thank you.
But she's not here.
Man.
I'm here.
Yeah, there she is.
Michael.
I don't know.
No one knows.
I saw Eddie's mug, and I'm like, that's not Ann.
No, it's not. No. Yeah, and like Michael said, Ann, it's been great having you here with us. Do you think by any chance you might do this again?
Please.
Please? Yeah.
I would love to do
We'll
it
send
again.
you a pizza.
Yes.
Please.
I know the chat has truly enjoyed you joining us as well as we have. That's for sure.
Thanks
Well,
very
we go
much.
back a long time, Ann.
Tell us about that. How did this all start?
It's when we were doing Squawk Radio.
No way.
And
Oh yeah.
and I was looking for good looks, and I was on LinkedIn, and I think we connected on LinkedIn. It was.
I didn't know people go to LinkedIn for
Michael, let him go.
Yeah. Match.com wasn't working.
Oh shit.
So I went to LinkedIn, but she's married.
yeah.
And, no, anyway.
Yeah.
I was looking
With
for people that
9
were in the
kids.
business.
Hold on.
Sorry?
What?
9. We have
You have
9
kids.
kids.
Wow.
I mean, your stories are incredible.
I know,
No,
you just keep getting more and more interesting.
I know. Yeah,
Incredible.
that is
she was
awesome.
the coolest, and she's like, "Well, yeah, I'd love to come on. This would be fun." And you were a regular. We'd have you on once or twice a
Yeah,
week. I think.
I love the markets. I love the markets. I love the puzzle every day. Even when it kicks me in the face, I'm like, all right, I'll be back for more later.
Right?
I'm just, I love it.
Do you
Was that 10
remember
years ago?
Do you remember your theme song I'd play before you'd come on and do a segment with us?
I don't.
It was by heart. Barracuda. Remember?
Ooh, very-
Oh, that's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anne Marie.
Such a thing. Yes. Yeah.
And would you do any of your kids trade?
Funny you should say that. When they were young, they were like, I don't want to work that much. And so
Let me guess, they're millennial.
now that they're older, they're
They're what? Oh,
They're what, Ann? Please.
man, they're what?
We're gonna get our hardwire for that.
There it is.
What
yeah,
are they? What are they,
heavy
Ann?
into crypto.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, enough
Yeah.
said.
You had boys that were doing D1 basketball. Was that right? Or
Yes, we still have one. He's now a pro, and that's why I'm always in Europe
what?
because we've been
wow.
schlepping around, following him.
What team or what country?
Well, right now he's in Scotland.
Awesome.
He plays for the British Basketball League
Cool.
right now.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So the kids, some of them are very risk averse, but two of them in particular have said to me, "Hey, I really want to start trading seriously next year." And so I've convinced them that when they pull the trigger, they need to open up the combines and start working in here and following along.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? An athlete that wants to be a trader. Hey, if we can do that poll real quick, I'm curious to know how many of our traders in the chat were former athletes at one point.
Whoa.
Little kid,
High
minor
school.
league. I
Yeah.
want to see what the crossover may or may not have been, just to get those competitive juices going. So yeah,
I was a sponsored skateboarder.
yes, you were. That's definitely that. Those skateboarders are athletes, no joke.
That's a good one, Andre.
Reason to
Yeah.
go out and smoke weed, but
Wow. 84% already.
I figured this is as close to sports as it gets.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's
You know,
so competitive.
Do you know what?
Competitive, it's fast moving. You got to be on your toes. You have competition. You're trying to compete against the rest of the world, and yeah, there's crossover.
Do you know what they said to me when I first got hired at a prop firm after blowing out a $30,000 real money accounts? I was broke, came to Chicago. They're like, well, you're hired. They go, well, you're hired. We're not paying you. You got to show us on a simulator. You can prove it, and then we'll flip the switch live. And he looks at me. He's like, you know what's better than being a pro athlete in Chicago? Being a trader. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, sign me up.
Well, it was. I mean, on the trading floor.
Yeah.
I mean,
In the town of Chicago, is a trading town, trader town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when fast market, you'd have to position yourself like you're getting a rebound.
And the pitch was physical, so
It's were very
for
physical.
sure. Very
Yeah.
physical.
You know.
Hey, so Tilt got really short down there,
Yeah, it did. That was a great long.
and then yeah, you had to take some heat on it. And it did fall out a bed really right about right now, right here.
Missed my bid by about 2 ticks.
Did you?
Gonna happen. Well, One Man Wolfpack is a professional spoons player. There you go. Play them spoons. Giddy up.
I loved Spoon Man. I thought that was such a cool song.
Spoon
You
Man?
guys know that song?
Spoon
Pearl
Man?
Jam? Is it Pearl Jam?
Yeah, I think
Pearl Jam that did Spoon?
Jack.
What?
Jack
You guys
knows.
don't know Pearl Jam?
Well, we know.
Oh my God, yeah.
in Chicago all the time.
I know
Eddie Vedder, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's someone else because they had the eastbound and
I think
down bit
so.
around it. It's
Jerry Reed.
Danielle
Soundgarden.
thinks
Soundgarden. That's right.
Soundgarden.
It was Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. Thank you,
That's
everyone.
right.
Danielle, all caps, Soundgarden. Okay, Dan, we got it.
Damn.
Sorry.
We got it.
You gotta
Soundgarden,
Definitely.
you fool.
gotta hit that buzzer. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-mm.
So,
Michael Hogue. There's a question from Spencer. Spencer Hurst. From Michael and Hogue. Your biggest trade, how many future lots have you had on a single trade? I know Michael had a big one from good old Hulk.
Hulk stuffed me with 300 bigs, which is 600 down minis. I had 600 down minis on it one time. And if you ever want to get your nerves and your hand to start shaking, you
Oh
put
my
on
God.
you put on astronomical size, and we didn't have margin or whatever. You could put on thousands of lots, and because you were an arbor in the pit, so you're like, well, you can't, you got to clearing firm would widen you up. So I had 600 on, and my hand was shaking, and I knew if the market, I was short 600, and it was like a price of 87. The broker comes in there, and it's a really quiet market like it is right now. And we're all sitting on the ground because we sit on the ground in the pits every now and then when it's dead. And then the broker stands up, and when he stood up with such force, you knew it was like something that was. But he goes 87 bid, and when they say 87 bid, you're like, oh, it's a smaller lot size. You think in your head it's a smaller lot size because you typically go 87 bid 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
You normally wouldn't say 87 bid.
10.
Yeah, you wouldn't say 87 bid 600 or 300. You would say 90 bid, or sorry, 80 bid or 85 bid because you got to really get these filled. And I go sold, and he looks at me, he goes, 300.
It was an asinine move, though.
How
He
you
knew.
doing?
Yeah, he
wasn't
stuffed
cool.
me
Michael,
away.
you didn't have to
Did you
take that.
see-
If he
did you
if
see
he didn't
what
put a number on it, you didn't have to take that.
If I said sold, you did have to take it in the pit, right, Eddie?
Not if he didn't put a number on it.
If you didn't put it.
Okay.
If he
Well,
just say seven-
I don't know. A
seven
lot
for
of pits
30,
work
7 for
differently, though.
300.
No,
If he just said 7 bid, and you said sold, and he said 300, you say no. 2.
No, he said 87 bid 300. And by the time he said 87 bid, we were very quick. By the time he said 87, you would be like, shit, it's like trading 86s or 5s. And you didn't think it's a 10 lot. So you're like, I got a couple ticks. But then you get stuffed with so that was 600 minis that I had to roll out of. I lost 5 or 7. I think it was 5 or 7 grand that day, just rolling out of that position. Thank God it didn't scream higher. It just kind of stuck around the 80s and the 82s. It never went offer from 87.
Yeah, you had to put a number on any bidder offer. If it wasn't a legit bid, unless you put a number on it. But if
You were good. You were
you
good.
said
Bro.
sold before he got to say 300, then you're taking him.
Yep.
So people just blindly fill the order before saying the number?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, size traders would
It's awesome.
probably. They don't care what the number is.
John, how about you? You traded big.
Nah, I didn't really trade all that big. I mean, the biggest thing I ever probably did was probably about a 20 lot. That's big S&Ps. That's 100 minis.
Yes, 100. Yep.
And
That's
believe
pretty
me,
big.
I was
That's
scared.
5,000. That's 5,000 a handle, isn't it? Like 410, 50. Am I
Something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 ticks. Well, here I can figure it out.
Well, if it's $25 a tick,
We're all back.
right?
Times 20.
Congratulations to Lyle Street Wolf. Thank you for the Friday reset. Today I passed my combine. Thank you very much, MP and Topstep.
Nice. I love hearing these stories.
Yeah, it's great. So 25 a tick times 20, 500 a tick. So, and it was after the break, so it was $5 grand a handle.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. We'll have somebody that came in and booked. We're going to book him, I think, here coming up in a few weeks, maybe. Made $1 million in about 5 minutes. So we'll talk to
During the
him.
crash.
But, yeah. Could have went either way. Could have went either way.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know what? We've got 34 minutes past the hour. And we're going to be doing shoulder tap here with Brett. And thank you very much for being with us here today. I tell you, we have, hey, if real quick before Ann says Wiedersehen, let's get those likes up. All right, get those likes up. 2,661. Come on, people. If you like what Ann brought to the table today, hit that like button, the thumbs up button, and we'll go from there.
Yes, and absolute pleasure today.
Yes. So
thank you so much. It was so much fun.
Yes, and awesome.
I
You're the star of the show.
Than's Ann.
So the Cubs are
You're the
going
best.
after Otani. We're going after Anne-Marie Band. you're our Otani.
We'll chase
Man,
her
I
down on
wonder
power
what
match.
his contract is going to be.
I hope they do it.
Yeah. But and have a great weekend. And our agent, our production team will contact your agent.
Everybody,
We'll do lunch.
Oh,
All right.
take care.
bye.
Take
Ann.
care.
See you, Ann. See you, Ann.
Cool
Bye-bye.
stuff.
Henry.
All right.